here's our video for how to throw a basic pot on a wheel. Remember, this isn't a super fantastic wheel. It's one we just made out of recycled materials, but it's the same basic idea. So you start in the same way as we did when we were making our pinch pot. Make a ball. And then plop it down in the middle of our wheel. My clay is really dark because the dirt outside in my yard is super dark. I'm going to give it a belly button and slowly and carefully pinch it. It's going to want to slide a little bit if you're using something like a to-go container because it's a slippery plastic. That's okay, you can just keep positioning it. So now we have our basic pinch pot. I'm going to recenter mine. And you are going to need something like a wet paper towel. Here's mine. I just have a water container right here so that I can keep dipping my paper towel. And you might want something like an old gift card. This is my old driver's license. I'm not going to show you how old I am. So in order to get our sides really smooth, you can dip, let's see if I can make this so you can see it. You can dip your paper towel so that it's wet and squeeze some water on top of it, on top of your pinch pot. Some of it's going to get inside, but that's good. Then you can slowly, make sure your towel is wet, start to rotate your wheel while applying just a little bit of pressure to the outside of your pot. Again, because we're doing this on a to-go container, it's going to slip a little bit. And then you can do the same thing on the top, and this is going to help get rid of any of these cracks. You can see that mine's cracking just a little bit, but by the time we're done, hopefully those cracks will be sealed up. So I'm just spinning, and I'm really applying just a tiny bit of pressure with my paper towel. If I apply too much, then my pinch pot's going to sink. And then I can also go in and reshape the sides. It's coming apart because I added just a little bit too much water. But remember, with clay, you can just mush it back together again and start over. So now, since I have a little bit too much water, I'm going to take a drier paper towel and soak up some of that water that's in there. There we go, that's better. And then I'm just going to keep going around to smooth out the sides while rotating my wheel around. You can see as it starts to form a little bit and it gets a little bit more sturdy, you can go a little bit faster with your wheel. Mine's slippery because it's this to-go container, but that's okay. I can just keep positioning it again in the middle. Now, if I want to, I can take my gift card or something like that, and I can make it even smoother. You can see how some of the clay is coming off on the card. That's just smoothing out the sides even more. If you're doing this on a paper plate or a piece of cardboard, it might be actually easier because it's not going to slip around as much, but you might not be able to use it more than once. So you can see some clay has come off of that already. I'm going to go in with my fingers and just kind of reinforce that shape that I have. And then I can take my paper towel. I'm going to squeeze out some of the water that was in it so it's not quite as wet as it was. Take out some of the water that's inside and just keep smoothing it out. My top has gotten a little bit cracked again, but I can just keep going around and smoothing it out. And same thing on the inside. So you would keep going until it's as smooth as you want it to be. You can go in and do a little bit of touch-up work too. And then when you're ready to take it off the wheel, it might be a little bit sticky on there. So you're going to get some more water. You might want to wait for it to dry a little bit so that it doesn't crack too much. But don't let it dry too much. Just sprinkle some water around the edge. I'm trying not to get it inside this time. And then I can take my gift card or whatever card, wipe off the extra dirt or the extra clay, and slowly use it to get up underneath without pushing too much my pot. And there's my pot. My pinch pot that was thrown on our homemade wheel. If you try this, I hope that you take a video of it and send it to me so that I can see. I'm super excited to see what you come up with. And then the same thing as when we made our other pinch pot. If you want to, you can shape it by carving away a little bit or pinching a little bit more as you rotate it, make it a little bit smoother. So try it, mess around with it, and if you don't like it, pick it up, scrunch it back together, and start over again.